So this tribe that Murad told us about, the Tanakh, we need their permission to go west?
Yeah, well, I figured it'd be nice if they weren't trying to kill me the whole time.
But this embassy hasn't started yet. We're just gonna barge in?
Just no more politics. No more delays.
Oh well. Now at least you have some backup.
I guess I do. We'll see how it goes.
That is the line between East and West. Cross it and die.
Hold on now. Let's take it easy.
None may walk this valley until our signal sounds. That was our accord with the Carja.
I'm not Carja. I came here on my own to ask for rite of passage.
But they opened the gate for you, did they not? What is the meaning of this violation?
Why send a child? Do they want to parley or not?
The Carja can't be trusted. This is known.
Forget the Carja. This has nothing to do with them. I need to go west to save lives. Maybe even yours.
The only lives you can save are your own. By turning back. Now.
Hold! She's telling the truth about one thing. She's not Carja. She's a Nora from the Savage East. And if she seeks to save lives, should we not listen? Let me speak to her. One last favor for a fellow marshal before he's taken away. A fearless, red-headed Nora. You must be the so-called savior of Meridian.
Just Aloy.
I am Unyielding Fashav. Once of the Carja High Command, last of the army of the Setting Sun. You'll have to forgive my comrades. Tensions are high. This embassy is a delicate affair. They're about to return me to the Sundom, a gesture that might help soothe painful grievances. And now you arrive, unheralded.
I'm not here to cause trouble. I just need to go west.
So you say. I might be able to help, but I need to know why. Along with some assurance that I won't regret it.
I've never seen markings like those on a Carja before.
The Carja see ink as decoration. For the Tanakh, it is much more. A litany of deeds. A record of vanquished enemies.
Looks like you vanquished quite... A few.
I've fought my share of battles. But I feel that my life, like my markings, is only half complete. This side shows my martial deeds. Before I die, I'd like to see the other half marked with the laurels of peace.
How did you come to be among the Tenakth?
It's quite a story, but not a quick one. Though I suppose neither of us is going anywhere before the embassy begins. Are you sure you want to hear it?
I guess we have time.
Very well. I marched with Sun King Jiran's raiders when hoping to moderate their worst. I failed. Of course, they committed unspeakable atrocities, stirring them. When the clans overran our forward encampment, I stayed behind to help the last dragon and was taken prisoner. I didn't make it easy for my... and they paid me back in kind on the journey to their capital. I lost so much blood on the way that I was white as a corpse when they threw me before Chief Hekarro. I thought I was dead for sure, so
So when you met the Tenakth chief, you did something desperate.
I'd kept my ears open as the Tenakth dragged me along, and I heard mutterings about a kind of trial by combat that they revere. So, when they flung me at Hekarro's feet, I demanded this right, called the Kulrut, thinking that by winning I could request a boon, my life or even my freedom. The other Tenakth howled, but Hekarro stared them down, and then his gaze fell upon me. Evidently, he appreciated my ingenuity. He allowed me to participate in the Kulrut. Little did I know what I was in for.
You said the Kulrut is a Tenakth.
Yes. But it is no ordinary... It doesn't pit men against each other, at least not directly. Instead, the combatants fight machines in a great arena, and only the strongest survive. Believe me, it is no easy thing to stare down a charging machine while hundreds around you scream for blood.
I know more about that than you might think.
Do you? Well, then you have my respect. Like you, I lived through it to claim my... I had hopes for freedom, but... well, that wasn't on offer.
You wound up serving the...
The winners of the Kulrut must serve the chief as his marshals.
You mentioned that word before. What does it...
The word itself refers to a kind of protective spirit. In practice, marshals are Hekarro's role, part magistrate, part judge. I won my place among their ranks and served as honored to men, but many Tenakth still spat on the ground when I walked by. But they did, until I started forcing them to the ground to grind their faces in it.
I guess that's one way to deal with it.
As you may have noticed, violence is the native tongue of the Tenakth. To survive, one must master it. The truth is, though, the Carja speak it too. More than they should. I can't blame the Tenakth for hating them.
So then, are you...
Part of me, yes. Yet there is much to admire about the Tenakth. I've heard stories about what it was like before his reign. 3 clans always at war, constantly slitting each other. Hekarro and the marshals have crafted a delicate peace, and now he looks to the future. Who knows? Maybe that future...
The Carja talk about Hekarro as if he's a...
The Carja feel compelled to demonize him if only because he swept them from the field. It is true that he is fearsome. When I was first taken before him, I thought he would flame me up, but he is no bloodthirsty tyrant like the Mad Sun King. I think that if you were fortunate enough to meet him, as I was, you would find that he only wants the best for his... I hope you do speak to him. So, that's my story. You're the first Easterner to hear it. The Carja need to know what I have learned.
Yeah. The way you talk... Are you glad?
Oh, I'll admit that I wouldn't mind sleeping in a feather bed or sipping wine from the... But I have another goal in mind. As someone who knows the Tenakth and the Carja, If Sun King Avad is amenable, my hope is to establish a lasting...
The Tenakth don't...
They're not, as a rule. Chief Hekarro knows that survival often requires, even if that change means putting aside centuries.
You asked why I need rite of passage. I'll tell you, but you won't like my answer. 6 months ago, the world almost ended in Meridian. That threat still exists. It's getting worse every day, much worse. calling down storms, poisoning the water, enraging the machines. The source of it all has gone west, and I'm the only one who can stop it.
I've seen the signs. And I've heard tales of incredible occurrences in Meridian, an army of demons vanquished by a red-haired champion. So I'm inclined to believe you. The burden of your task is written across your face clearer than any mark of mine. I'll grant you this, to serve as proof of your right to travel into Tenakth lands. A task so important, and it's just the two of you. Take it from one who aspires to be a diplomat. Allies are essential. Chief Hekarro knows the West better than anyone. He may be able to help you. He can be intimidating to others, but don't let that deceive you. He is a man of his word.
Maybe. If I need him.
Your choice. You can find him at his palace, past the mountains to the southwest. Tell him I sent you, and he'll listen to it.
Look! The Sky Clan's banner!
Marshals. It wasn't easy, but I brought the Sky Clan with me.
And the commander?
No. I could only convince a few. He isn't yet aware we left.
We have banners from all 3 clans. If there are fewer from the Sky Clan, it can't be helped.
He's right. Sound the horn.
What's going on?
Not all Tenakth can stomach the idea of parley with the Carja, but enough have come for us to begin.
Then I'll be on my way.
No! The other marshals will not permit it. You wanted safe passage, you have it. After the embassy.
The Carja have opened the gates.
As the sun rises over a land at war, so too can it set over a land at peace. Today is such...
Hear me, marshals! You who claim to be Tenakth!
Regalla. Chief Hekarro's biggest mistake. A rival whom he should have killed.
You have forgotten that our people were born in blood. The blood of the Carja. Instead, you pledge your spears to a chief who conspires with the enemy. Hekarro has betrayed us! The embassy is proof! And all of you marshals are his accomplices! For this, I condemn you to death!
You'll need more than toothless threats to intimidate us. Exile.
Lancers! Form up!
They're riding machines.
Where'd they learn to do that?
Silence.
Vashav! Come with us now, or not at all!
Archers! Light them up!
Get to cover!
Archers! Keep them back!
take it.
Open the gates! Open the gates! Open the gates! Kaja! Stand your ground! Fire on Will! I don't have a shot!
What happened? Can you see?
It's just us now.
Hey! Calm down and fight fair! Lancers! Take the center! Get ready!
Stick to cover! Archers on the ridge! Here they come!
They're on to us.
I should fire at the machine riders on the field.
Here's some ammo.
Leave them! Finish the
Down
enemy!
here, not up there.
Always something trying to kill us.
Engage that target! Kill them all! Put them all down!
Outlanders. I'll skin you both!
Chief, grant me the honor of this challenge.
Granted.
You're next, girl.
I've never seen a shield like that. Better scan it. Gotta get through that shield. There! Now I can! Your turn! Come down here and face me!
No! It was an honorable challenge. You've earned your life today. Comrades! Mark this day! Today you have decimated the Marshals! Slaughtered the Karja! So begins our war on Hikaru. Move out!
Get him to the camp. Now.
You gonna make it?
You're going on without me, aren't you? Guess I'm stuck with Erend. For now.
Come on. I'll take you back to the fort.
I got you.
It's salvage time, boys.
Don't think it can take a hit. I should be able to use it to glide.
Aloy. We're still trying to sort out. Seems like the Tenakth have a civil war in their hands.
That sounds about right. The Marshals weren't expecting Regalla to attack.
And the entire Karja delegation was slain. Nozar, Vuadis, Vashav. A massacre. What will you do now?
I have to head west. Hopefully this rite of passage is still good. For what I'm after, I'll cross all of Tenakth territory if I have to.
Then you have a long road ahead of you. This is only the threshold of the Forbidden West. The Tenakth's true domain lies over the mountains that border Plainsong. home of the Utaru tribe.
This isn't Tenakth's territory?
All that out there? That's no man's land. It was supposed to be neutral ground, though obviously this Regalla ignored that. Her rebels approached from the north, with all those machines they were riding. They must have made camp up that way.
The rebels were riding bristlebacks. And there were bristlebacks in the Daunt.
Are you saying the rebels let them into the Daunt? How would that even be possible?
I don't know. But it's worth looking into.
While you're at it, there were a number of Carja and Oseram who went out there before the gates were shut for the embassy. Maybe you could check in on them. See if they're all right.
I can keep an eye out. Is there a tall neck somewhere nearby?
A tall neck? There's that one, over there, near the Utaru border. But why?
It's hard to explain. It'll help me get the lay of the land.
If you say so. Is there anything else I can tell you before you go?
Fashav called Regalla a rival.
Yeah, I reckon he should have. She's obvious. Her attack was coordinated and precise. Until you got in her way, that is.
They knew the lay of the land. And they knew Fashav was going to be handed over at the embassy. If the Tenakth weren't expecting her, she must have spent months gathering an army.
They had to have made camp nearby, somewhere they could lie low until the perfect moment.
You said the Tenakth. What can I expect to find between?
Well, as I mentioned, you've got a stretch of wilderness known as No Man's Land, and then New Taru farmlands. Past that are the Tenakth. Their territory is split into 3 clans. Desert, lowland, and...
Right. I saw their banners at the embassy.
The Desert clan is closest. Ooh, vicious lot. Where everyone else sees an inhospitable wasteland, they see a challenge to dominate. Somewhere beyond the desert, and the territories of the other 2.
You don't sound certain.
I've only heard the stories. During the Red Raids, the Carja army tried to push, but the United Clans rose up against them.
So no one except the Tenakth really know what's beyond the desert.
Maybe the scholars do, back in Meridian. All those scrolls have to be filled with something, right?
You mentioned the Utaru tribe. They're
That's right. Plainsong, they're a peaceful bunch. At least compared to the more taken to farming than fight.
It's hard to imagine a bunch of farmers surviving in the Forbidden West.
Make no mistake, they have a fierceness. When the Carja were pushed back during the Red Raids, their warriors chased ours through the burning fields of Plainsong. The Sun King has made several overtures of peace to them as well, but so far...
If they're so peaceful, why decline?
Don't know. I heard they have their own troubles to deal with. Something about a food You'd think that'd make them open to trade, but...
You said there were others who went out when they...
Well, in addition to the salvagers, there were a couple of other parties of Oseram Del. Even saw 2 Carja scholars trekking south. Not sure if they're...
This area is...
That it is. The Tenakth used to it, but after Avad overthrew the Mad Sun, he reached out to the other tribes to offer. The Tenakth agreed to a neutral border zone as part of the peace talks. Carja and Oseram have been striking out into the area.
But now, it seems like we're going...
Well, I'd never call No Man's Land safe. The ancient ruins of the south, remnants of some...
Do you think the Carja will take action? Seems like you'd have common ground with the Tenakth.
An expedition of the Carja army into the west could be taken as the start of another invasion. Sun King Avad won't risk it. That said, we can't allow ourselves to be caught unaware by an attack like that again.
It's too bad about Nazar and Wadis.
At least Nozar went down fighting. As for the Sun Priest, well, no one deserves to go out that way. I'll make sure they're given proper funeral rites.
About Fashav.
The man was taken captive by the Tenakth. Survived for years out in the west, only to die just short of the Sundom. It's a cruel end for a good soldier.
There was more he wanted to do. He spoke of advocating for lasting peace between the Carja.
Too late for that now.
What will happen to him?
His body will be carried back to Meridian. As the cousin of the Sun King, he will be accorded official rights. No soldier could ask for more.
I'd need to be on my way.
Then I wish you luck. The gates will always be open to you should you wish to and don't worry about your friends. We'll get them patched up.
I appreciate it.
Sun watch over you, Aloy. I hope you find what you're looking for.
So, this is the Forbidden West. A whole new frontier to explore. The coordinates from the spire should lead to Sirens and Hades. And just maybe, the backup of Gaia. It won't be easy out there. The blight, the storms, Regalla's machine riders. But I'll have to push through it all. Find a way to fix the world. Like Elizabeth would. Send this to my